What would actually happen if Iran and Israel went to war tomorrow? Are we watching the beginning of a new Middle East war, or just another dangerous cycle of tension? And perhaps the most important question: why has Israel been targeting Iran's top generals in the first place? To understand this, we need to look at what has really been happening behind the scenes. This is not just another headline. Behind the daily breaking news lies a conflict shaped by decades of rivalry, covert operations, and strategic calculations. In this video, we'll break down what is really happening between Iran and Israel, how the latest escalation began, and what could happen if the region moves toward a full-scale war. The confrontation between Iran and Israel did not start recently. For years, both countries have accused each other of planning attacks and destabilizing the region. In October 2024, Iran launched around 200 ballistic missiles toward Israel, targeting military facilities such as Nevatim Air Base and Telephone Naf Air Base. This marked one of the largest direct missile attacks between the two countries. Just weeks later, on the 26th of October 2024, Israel carried out a major retaliatory operation known as Operation Days of Repentance. The strikes targeted 20 military locations across Iran, Iraq, and Syria, damaging radar systems and missile infrastructure. These events set the stage for the much larger confrontation that would follow. The situation intensified further in June 2025. On the 13th of June 2025, Iran launched a massive retaliatory strike against Israel using over 150 ballistic missiles and more than 100 drones. Israeli air defense systems, including the Iron Dome, intercepted many of these missiles. But the attack showed that the conflict between the two countries was entering a far more dangerous phase. The turning point came on the 28th of February 2026. On that day, the United States and Israel launched coordinated air and missile strikes against multiple targets inside Iran. The operation was reportedly called Operation Lion's Roar. Hundreds of strikes targeted missile facilities, air defense systems, military bases, leadership sites. The first wave alone involved hundreds of attacks within hours. One of the most dramatic consequences of the strike was the death of Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, along with several senior officials. The attack shocked the region and immediately triggered retaliation. Within hours, Iran launched a massive response. Ballistic missiles and drones were fired toward Israel and across the region. According to regional reports, Iranian missiles struck areas around Tel Aviv, triggering air raid sirens across Israel. Iran also launched attacks against neighboring countries and strategic locations in the Gulf. Between February 28 and early March 2026, Iran reportedly launched 189 ballistic missiles and more than 900 drones toward the United Arab Emirates. Debris from intercepted missiles damaged buildings in Dubai, including areas near Palm Jumeirah. The conflict was now spreading far beyond Iran and Israel. In early March, Israeli strikes hit energy infrastructure around Tehran, including oil depots and refineries. The attacks created massive plumes of black smoke over the Iranian capital. Iran condemned the strikes as a dangerous escalation. Meanwhile, new fronts began opening across the region. On the 11th of March 2026, the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah launched one of its largest attacks on Israel. Around 100 missiles and drones targeted Israeli cities including Haifa, Tel Aviv, and Beersheba. Israel responded with heavy airstrikes in Beirut's southern suburbs and southern Lebanon. This marked a major escalation, opening a second front in the conflict. The crisis soon began affecting global trade and energy security. Iran warned that it could target U.S. and Israeli economic and banking infrastructure across the region. At the same time, military activity increased near one of the world's most important energy routes, the Strait of Hormuz. Nearly 20% of the world's oil supply passes through this narrow waterway. If the conflict disrupts shipping here, the economic consequences could be felt around the world. If the conflict escalates into full war, the first phase would likely involve massive missile and drone attacks. Iran has one of the largest missile arsenals in the Middle East. Israel relies heavily on advanced defense systems like Iron Dome to intercept incoming rockets. But even the most advanced defenses have limits. If hundreds of missiles are launched simultaneously, some will inevitably reach their targets. Cities could be hit, infrastructure could be damaged, and once both sides begin large-scale retaliation, the conflict could spiral quickly. So are we witnessing the beginning of a new Middle East war, or simply another cycle of tension? For now, both sides appear to be operating in a dangerous gray zone. Strikes happen, retaliation follows, but full-scale war is still avoided. Yet history shows that conflicts like this often escalate because of one unexpected moment. One missile, one miscalculation, or one decision made in the middle of the night. And if that moment arrives, the shadow war between Iran and Israel could suddenly become something much bigger. If this video helped you understand the situation better, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Because here, we break down complex global conflicts into clear, factual stories that are easy to understand. And the next story might be even more important.